now called to order.
Well, she's just connecting now.
Recording in progress.
Any chair, member, committee reports?
No.
Mail, phone messages,
No, it's not.
public inquiries?
I don't know, is there any?
No. Approval of minutes?
We do July 24th, 2024, please.
Okay, I need a
A motion.
motion to accept the minutes.
A motion to accept the minutes, July 21st.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
All right.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Issuance of permits?
Oh, shouldn't have been there. No,
No?
no.
All right. All right. DEP 128-1944, 6 Gale Road. Who's up?
Andrew, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, we can. If you don't mind
Your
just,
audio's not coming in on my side of things.
Oh.
So if you guys can hear me, then I'm happy to go.
oh no, isn't that the problem that the selectmen had last night? It's gonna be a problem. Can you hear
Rose is
us?
back now. That just worked.
Did you hear me?
Yes, now I do.
Okay,
It's personal,
scared me
so-
for a second. All right, if you don't mind just giving a quick overview of the project, the fact that we had a site inspection, and then so I can just close this out.
Absolutely, yes. Again, to the commission, thank you for your patience. I know this was first filed last year, and we had been kind of going through, changing the project, waiting for a DEP file number, and finally a site visit with Rose. So to quickly recap the project, what we're doing over here is dividing their property into 4 single-family house lots to build 2 houses for their children. The project involved widening the existing driveway, expanding a crossing, and then installing 2 new gravel driveways up to the new lots for their daughters. And so what we had to do was expand the driveway from 12 to 18 feet with some minor impacts to the wetlands with widening the culvert and a whole stormwater management system that was reviewed by Graves Engineering. So the commission had seen this plan at the last meeting, but at that point, Rose and I had still not visited the site. So on August 20th, we finally got out there and we took a look together at the existing driveway, the areas that we've selected for replication or restoration. We took a look at the area where we are widening the culvert and the area where we're daylighting the stream, as well as the flags that are adjacent there. On that sidewalk, we took a look at everything left in agreement with the delineation and the restoration that we have proposed here. So with that all set and the stormwater being peer reviewed by Graves, we believe that we're all set here, but I am here if you guys have any quick questions.
Does anyone have?
Anybody on the board have any questions?
Nope.
Anybody in the audience have any questions?
I'm ready to recommend closing the public hearing and issuing
I
the
need a
order
motion to close the
conditions.
hearing and an
And
order of
issuing.
conditions.
Good.
Don't fight over it.
Motion to close the hearing.
And issue the
Issue
order.
order of conditions.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you, Andrew. Again, I won't use the 21 days, but it will be close to it, run behind. Okay.
Whatever you guys need, thank you for the
All right.
patience with this one.
Yeah, thank you.
28 Curtis Hill Road and New Spencer Road.
We'll be continuing to September 25th.
I need a motion to continue the hearing.
Motion to
Motion.
continue.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Lot 2, Southbridge Road.
Norman?
This is Sean Hill at Land Planning. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, excellent.
How are you?
Excellent. I'm well, and you?
Very good. If you don't mind, just give a brief explanation of the project so we can close it out.
Sure. Our client is looking for permission to build a house with a septic system and a driveway. There are 2 lots, Lot 2 and Lot 3. We're not impacting, we're not proposing to alter any
Just past
wetland.
Snake Hill.
There's a river out back. We are in the riverfront zone, but we've kept the alteration under 10% on each front. But I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I'm ready to recommend closing the public hearing and issuing the order conditions. If
Does
you don't have any
anybody on the
questions.
board have any questions?
No.
Anybody in the audience have any questions? I need a motion to close the hearing with an order of conditions to go with it.
Motion to close the hearing with the order of conditions.
Second? All in favor?
Did you
Aye.
say?
All opposed? The ayes have it. Lot 3, Southbridge Road.
This is exact lots that he's just explained.
I can barely hear you.
Same lots,
Yeah,
Same thing.
okay,
same proposal.
okay. I need a
I'll
motion.
recommend closing issuing it.
Okay. I need a motion to close the hearing
Motion to
with an order of
close.
conditions.
Motion to close the hearing, order of conditions.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank
Lot
you, Norman.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone.
16 Sturbridge Road.
Continue to September 25th.
So we need to make a motion.
Need the motion.
Motion to continue to September 26th.
Yeah, so made.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 35 North Main Street.
Will be continued to September 25th.
I need a motion to continue the hearing.
Motion to continue.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. 162 Sandersdale Road.
Yep. Jay? Oh, thank you.
So this is just a septic system replacement of a failed system, 162 Sandersdale Road. The work is in the riverfront zone as well as BBW, buffer zone to a BBW. It's in with existing lawn areas. There's some brush that has to come down to put in the leach field. We are putting in a new tank. The system's located further away from the resource areas and the current cesspool that's there now. DEP did issue a number. They had a question regarding the flood zone, which we did show on this revised plan, and the work is outside the flood zone. Other than that, I'm just gonna be back to lawn once it's done.
You have any issues?
Anybody on the board have any questions?
No issues, okay.
I'm ready to close in,
Anybody in the audience have any questions? I need a motion to close the hearing with the order of conditions.
Motion to close the hearing, order of condition.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
thank you.
Thank you.
426 Stafford Street.
Marianne, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I
If
can
you
hear
don't
you.
mind just presenting the project?
Yes, and Mr. Materos is in the,
Yes, it is.
is at the meeting
Yep.
as well. Yes, the driveway is a steep driveway down off of Stafford Street, excuse me, Stafford Street, and when you come out of the garage, there needs to be a turnaround there, so the intent is to fill out and create a slope that ends 40 feet from flag W2, if I recall. And then, the existing slope that is the yard has had invasive species on it that have been removed, including, honeysuckle and, Asian bittersweet and so on. The landowner would like to loam and seed that slope so that it can be maintained. That's because the plan has an erosion control barrier on it, and the wetland flags are noted at a distance from the, erosion control line.
DP, we have a DP in there?
We do.
Any issues?
Nope.
Yeah, close it.
I'm ready to recommend closing issue of conditions.
Anybody on the board have any questions? No. Anybody in the audience have any questions? If not, need a motion to close the hearing with an order of conditions.
Motion to close the hearing with order conditions.
Second. I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Have a good
Marianne.
evening.
4
Well,
Oxford
that's-
Road.
Yep, I'll have it
See, there's another example
ready for
right
you
there. There's
Tuesday.
another example right there.
We'll call you, you can pick it up or.
Don't
bring
know
it
if we're
to-
gonna do the work this year, cause it's getting late
You
in
have
season.
3 years.
You do?
And if you need more, we can come back.
No,
and
next
try
year,
to
we'll do
see.
it next fall. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, have a good night.
Thank you.
Have anybody heard me? It's 4 Oxford Road.
We continue to October 9th. That's the town project.
I need a motion to continue the hearing.
Motion to continue the hearing on August 9th.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
August 9th, October 9th.
October.
The ayes have it.
I said August.
Wait a-
I can save some more money for that now. Time.
Going back in time.
Or very late to next year. Big continuance.
We have a request to move from Chapter 161, City Depot Road.
Parcel ID 17-B-13.5.
Correct.
Yep, I need the motion so the commission can choose if you are gonna exercise your first right of refusal. Meaning, would you like to keep the property or you allowing them to remove?
I need a motion,
Motion.
unless you want to buy
To
it.
not exercise your first right of
Motion to
refusal?
remove it from 61A.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
All opposed?
Did
The
you
ayes
second?
have it.
Is it? I
Same
can't
thing,
hear you second.
44 Old Worcester Road.
That's the same. It's a 5-acre land.
Whose property was that?
This one is Andrew Mac something, can't even attempt.
This one?
McCullough?
Could be,
That's not too far past the funeral parlor there somewhere, right?
I really don't know.
Yeah, all right.
I need a motion.
To remove.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Certificate of Compliance, 7 Pineland Drive.
I'll recommend issuing a complete certificate of compliance.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Dodge Road.
Lot 1, Dodge Road.
All right, give me just 1 second there.
Is that Dodge Road or Dodge Lane? Because I live on Dodge Road.
It's, you do? Let me look at it. Okay, 1
Where's
second.
Dodge Lane?
Off of road to the school.
Dodge Road.
Who's the owner?
It was Elliot Burlingame back in 2005.
Okay, I know the place, yeah. I need a motion.
Well, just
Uh-huh.
one's a little bit
Tricky?
tricky. So the motion is actually to issue a, sorry, I forgot completely what that was. So the proposed work associated with this order of conditions recorded in 2005 really never commenced.
Say that again?
They never started. When they filed the order of conditions back in 2005, they never started the work. But for some reason, the same order was reissued back in 2007. And they again recorded against the registry of deeds. So they had 2 orders recorded against the same deed. I don't know why it was reissued back then, Maybe they lost and they forgot they recorded, I'm not sure. But again, it never started.
But
So,
it's already recorded.
well,
Which one are we doing, the recorded one or the non-recorded
well,
one?
they recorded both.
Yeah, oh,
And that's why the request for certificate of compliance, but the work was never done. So and they were closing because they're selling the house and they find it out, the registry of deeds, that they had held against the deeds. So I did provide them with administrative approval, saying that, you know, the work never started and that we would be voting at this meeting. And so my request is to issue an invalid certificate of compliance so they can clear the order conditions out of the deed, but the work really
yeah,
never
I
started.
know which house it is now.
It just say lot 1, but there is a
There's
number now.
no address.
There is a number now, what number was?
So it's not right as you pull in.
24, right? 24.
Yeah,
So I need the motion to issue an incomplete certificate of compliance. Is that incomplete? Invalid? Where are the signature pages? Let me just look at the
I'll make the
correct-
motion,
I
whatever
just
it
want
is.
to look at the correct name, just a second. Correct box. Invalid. Thank you.
yeah, make a motion.
Motion is
Make a
made.
motion to
Okay.
issue an
Yeah,
invalid
But they
certificate of
never did the
compliance.
work.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. 60 Hill Road,
60 Hill Road. Site inspection yesterday, did you keep that in the office? Yeah, but I don't have it here, right? A single, duplex, built per plan, few changes, however, erosion control is still in place, so I'm gonna table this until they remove the erosion control, so we can go to the next one.
so we gotta do anything with it?
No,
Okay. 150 Richardson Corner Road,
was, same condition, everything has been completed per plan, but all erosion controls are still in place, so we'll table it until they remove it.
okay. 129 Southbridge Road,
Related to a septic system, site inspection yesterday, I'm recommending issuing a complete certificate of
I
compliance.
need a motion.
Motion made, push, issue a certificate of compliance.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Old and new business, MS4 demonstration stormwater,
Yes.
West Roberts Boulevard boat ramp.
What is this? Just a second. Okay. MS4, okay. So I'm gonna pass this plan around. As you know, the town of Charlton has a permit with EPA, and we need to comply with the requirements for each year. One of the requirements for year 6 is to demonstrate a BMP, best managed practice, that either with the infiltration basin, a rain garden, or something related to that within a regulated area. That will be, addressing nutrients that goes into our lakes and ponds. So clearly, it was difficult for us to find an area like that because most areas are private. But the only one that we're able to find and thought that would be a good example was the boat ramp at South Charlton Reservoir. So we got an engineer to look at it and talk to EPA, see if they would allow us to use the private area to demonstrate this project so the town could be in compliance with the MS4. At the time, I contacted the association, South Charlton Reservoir Association, and the abutters of the boat ramp to discuss if they would be willing to allow the project to go on. This is the plan. We're not approving the plan per se, so the reason I'm bringing from the commission tonight is to know if the commission would allow the enhancement of the existing swale to be done under maintenance, as we have done with dam repairs. We had the Glen Echo dam repair we didn't file a notice of intent because we did under maintenance, and that is allowed if the commission chooses so. So I'm recommending the same here, but that's up to the commission if you choose the town to file a full notice of intent to do the project. The proposed project includes the enhancement of the existing swale, installation of the new catch basin, and some planting of field vegetations.
So who owns the boat ramp?
So the boat, and that was an email from Mr. Sanchez who came to me today related to, let me just open an email, that I was unaware. So the boat ramp is private, all residents own, and they're allowed to use it to access the lake. But it appears that there was something called, get into it, sorry, it just came to me tonight. There we go. And/or acres, which all residents should be involved in any type of change on any right-of-ways. I believe the boat ramp is considered a right-of-way because everyone uses it. So at this time, I can just pass the plan around so you can have an idea what we are proposing, but I will be contacting the South Charlton Reservoir Association to let them know that they should be notifying all residents prior to any improvements happening on the boat ramp.
Has the town used that before to treat the lake, or the same ramp?
Say it again?
Has the town used that to treat the lake in the past?
Use the boat ramp?
Yeah?
In which way? I'm sorry, I'm not understanding the question.
Has the town used that to get on the water in the
The
past?
town ourselves?
The town, or
No.
whoever, who streamed the lake? The
Oh, you mean for
association?
weed control, you mean?
Right.
No, they hire a company called Water and Wetlands.
Okay.
So this is unrelated to the,
And that
to the
is shared by
treatment.
the association members?
say it again?
That's shared by the association members? The cost?
Shared by, oh, the cost? No, the town pays. We have a budget on the stormwater to provide assistance for any type of weed control. But this is a part of the MS4 permit that the town has with EPA. We are mandated to do a demonstration project within a regulated area. So we chose the boat ramp. So, yeah, just a second, I'll call you in a second. Just get you the pin where I was there. Oh, you know what? I think I have an easier one here. Sanchez, if you want to come over, I can actually give you this so you can look at it too.
When is this gonna take place?
During the drawdown. It's a one-day enhancement.
It's one day?
Yep.
Oh.
So everything's already there. So what we're trying to do is remove all the sediments that's in the swale that discharge unfortunately into the lake. Create some check dams, plant field vegetations, and just regrade the swale. It's not as deep as supposed to, but DPW will be doing the work to cut costs for the town. So we thought they could fall under maintenance, but that's, leave the commission to decide that. Not tonight, because again, all the residents, I think, should be taking a look at the plan and be informed properly. But that's,
Is the right-of-way gonna be surveyed?
right, what right away?
Is
We're talking
the-
about the boat
The
ramp.
boat ramp, which is a right-of-way.
Why am I surveying it? Yeah, it has already been there. That has already been done.
Oh, it has?
Yes.
Okay. Has it been pinned and all that? Or-
So we had an engineer company that did all the surveying process and communicated with the butters. If you need that information, the association will be.
Yeah, I mean, I hear you keep referring to the association. The association has no control over this property. This is private property.
Right, but what I'm
for-
trying to say is, so I wasn't aware of the information sent to me today, and I believe the association was in the past, because you did receive a letter from the association.
Yeah, there was a Lake and Ponds was involved in.
Yes, South Charlton
in-
Reservoir
in some
Association.
of the correspondence.
Yeah.
Which included in communicating to the off-lake residents as well,
Yeah.
that.
I'm not arguing
Stuff's
anyway,
being
I
done.
just think that everybody should have been communicated, and
Yeah.
that's something that I wasn't aware, so.
Yeah, and that's why I you know, sent you the email.
Yeah, that's great,
And,
and I already communicated with them. So they are
I-
gonna be
Are they
notifying.
gonna notify by mail? I mean,
I don't know
how are we
that.
gonna verify that everybody gets notified?
We're gonna be sending, certified, so
Okay.
maybe somebody will be receiving that, green card back.
Okay. I
And then
mean,
we'll be in the next meeting.
Historically, they haven't been great at involving the off-lake residents. There's actually been a lot, practice of
I don't even-
uninvolving us.
I don't even
I'm just,
feel.
I'm just
Yeah.
communicating the truth,
Yeah.
okay? So I'm just hoping that we can make sure that going forward, in future projects, that, you know, we do get notified.
So for the record, no one has been notified, not even the residents that are not just off lakes.
Okay.
It was a, misside of the association, I'm not quite sure, I wasn't aware of that. So you brought it up, I communicated with them, so they're all gonna be notified.
All right, I'll make sure I reach out to some of my neighbors to make sure they're looking for that.
Yep,
I had, you know, the reason I asked about the survey is because about 5 years ago, I had approached Todd Gerard when we did the betterment, the dam maintenance, and the betterment was charged to the residents.
dam repair, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I had requested that that be done, and there seems to be,
Yeah, so, and
a
again, I need to,
resistance
I
to
need,
that.
I need to clarify that it's not the town choosing to have the work done. It was chosen because it's part of the regulated area under stormwater, that we are mandated to demonstrate a project where we improve the nutrients going to the lake.
Okay.
That was,
understand.
that's what it is.
All right,
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sure that
Yep,
everybody gets told what's going on.
yeah.
Um,
Again, you know, when we work in areas like that, we're just notifying their butters. So I think it was just a oversight
Okay.
of everybody
Yeah,
else,
and-
but we'll be corrected.
To answer Mitch's question, I believe the police department and fire department both have keys to access the lake
Okay.
for emergency purposes.
I knew they had a spot somewhere to get on the lake.
Yeah,
That's it, so we won't be voting tonight. I'll have the association notifying residents, and they might be, again, we're not changing anything, we're just enhancing it, improving the runoff into the lake. So maybe an email would be a good thing to do, so they can all have a copy of that plan. And then we can put it back on our agenda in the next 2 weeks. So I can't wait longer than that, because I won't have the time if you choose to do under notice of intent. That might take a few months, and I need to do the drawdown. And just to be in compliance, the EPA, it should have been completed in June, but we're running a little behind with that.
Do you need a motion on this?
Not tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All
May I
right.
just have that back?
Yeah, there was another item on the agenda tonight about, if I may,
The next one is,
no build zones, if I may ask what
Yeah.
that is?
so we do
No
not have.
disturb, no build?
Yeah, we don't, so when, can he just open so I can say it?
I'm sorry?
He will open it, the discussion, and then you can
Okay.
just listen
All right.
to it. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you for the email. Let me just get organized. Okay. Signing folder. We have like a map. All right. You can open the discussion.
Okay. This is on the
The last item.
no disturb, no build zone policy discussion, and,
Yeah, so I
Oh.
sent an email to the commission. I can just read this for the record. That as development in our town continues to grow, proposed projects within the buffer zone have become more and more aggressive. For instance, the proposed development for 40 multi-family housing on 35 Main Street proposes clearing and developing work up to the edge of the wetlands in a number of locations. The application was reviewed by R. Allen, and his recommendation was for the project to be scaled back. And I did agree with his recommendations. But for those of you who were not present during the meeting, all abutters' concerns were related to the drastic disturbance in stormwater runoff associated with the project. Also during the meeting, in response to few abutters, I explained that we did not have a do not disturb, a do not build zone policy. After discussing the matter with few members, I have drafted a proposed policy, which I have attached and sent to the commission, and if sought that, giving to the public requests, I thought it would be, the time to bring it back in front of the commission for discussion. So that's the draft. It doesn't mean that has to be approved the way it is, but I thought that it would be important for us to open the discussion
Now-
again.
How does this, the no disturb, no build zone, 25 feet, how does that enhance our 100-foot setback now, where we have control of?
How it enhanced the 100-feet
Yeah.
setback?
What does, I mean, we have a 100-foot setback now,
So,
so we could prevent someone from building within 25 feet, correct?
we could and we can.
Yeah, we could and we can. If we pass this thing now, the way it's written, shall, it says, we don't have any say. If somebody comes in, we can't let them build within 25 feet.
But that's the whole point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
haven't we got enough regulations? I mean, if it's that detrimental, and I'm talking to the board and whoever, if it's that detrimental, we can stop it with our 100-foot buffer.
I don't understand
Oh.
your knowledge,
I'm sorry, you
So-
don't understand.
no, I mean, so
Why do we want another regulation to prevent someone from doing anything beyond the 25 foot, when we can do that now?
but we don't.
We can if it's that detrimental, I said. If this 40 home project is gonna be that detrimental, we can stop it. We don't need,
What was Art
So,
Allen's?
you are,
Has that-
just, now I understood what he wants to say. You're correct. We can deny the project. However, they will appeal, and when they appeal, there is nothing on the regulations that says that they cannot build right up to 5 feet.
if they win the
It's up-
appeal.
It's up to the commission to make that decision. So we have the right under the regulations to tell that, I'm just using this project as an
Yeah,
example.
I know.
I'm not, saying anything against the project at all, but we have had projects in town that we have retaining walls built on a 1-foot buffer zone.
I just feel that if someone's got a home, existing home, or wants to build a new home within 30 feet of the wetland, and he wants to put a deck on 20 feet,
Driveway.
or a driveway, he can't get into that 25 foot. If
He
we-
cannot, well, that's the whole point. So the 25-foot buffer is undisturbed.
The guy's paying taxes on his land, he can't put a
Right,
driveway?
but our job is not to look at tax, our job is to protect the wetlands. That's our
Our job is to
job.
protect the
Yeah.
wetlands, and that's what we wanna do, but that doesn't mean we have to stop him from putting a driveway in.
Why would he not put a driveway in?
If that's the only, if he was building a house, and that's the only place he had to put a driveway, then we could make him protect it from the wetlands, protect the wetlands from the driveway.
So he's just gonna have to stay 25 feet from the wetlands.
Okay,
Which
but
I'm
that's
not
not what
even, I think,
Let's not make it mandatory, that's what I'm saying, I don't wanna make it mandatory, I don't
you
agree with
have,
that.
you have the right to do so, but I think everyone has to vote, and we have abutters
Oh,
who
I'm
have
sure,
say.
I'm
So
sure.
I just bring it from the commission, and I believe that we're hoping to compromise and not maybe say, we have Oxford that I believe they do have a 20-foot buffer. We have Auburn that I believe has 15, so we can compromise and see what works best for this town, but I think that what we have been allowing residents and contractors and everyone to do in this town is like,
I think we've been doing a good job in controlling it.
100%, most of
And I don't
them,
think we have to have a monkey see, a monkey do, because other towns have it.
and that's not I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that it's, as flood has increased, this is not just to avoid construction, this is for their own benefit. As wetlands are there to suck up the water to make sure that's not flooded. Wetlands expands with more water that they receive. Residents' business that are being built 5 feet from a
Yeah.
retaining walls that are 1 foot from it will be damaged by flood. So this is just to protect everyone, and it is to protect the wetlands, so,
Well, it also takes the use of a person's land away
That's right.
correct,
that he pays full taxes on.
correct.
The assessors will not give him a rebate because we can't let him build up.
But
within
again,
25
our
feet.
Conservation Commission is to look into the Wetland Protection Act and not on taxes. But I'm resting now, you guys can look at it, and everyone have the right to discuss. So I'm just here to introduce, it's up to the commission whether you vote or not, but my recommendation would be to vote on it and approve it.
Well,
Is there an urgency to vote on it?
Is it what?
Urgency to vote?
Urgency?
Yeah, is there an urgency?
I think time is tonight, we either vote yes or no, yes.
Do we wanna add a line in there if, to, something to the effect that allowing the project to be that close to the wetlands? There's no, meaning if they put whatever, driveway, porch or something in that close,
Yeah.
no matter what they do, it's gonna hurt the wetlands, then it makes sense to say no.
it's not just a driveway, it's anything at
No,
all.
no, my point is if there's, in other words, if putting in whatever structure, I don't care what it is, porch, deck, pool, whatever, putting it that close is gonna be detrimental to the wetlands, meaning no matter how you build it, construct it, engineer it, whatever, it's gonna cause a problem, then that makes sense to say no. But if it, as you said, if there's other ways to have someone put it in close, but they, whatever, replicate elsewhere, then fine, we can allow it. You know what I'm saying?
You can put it, I can put a driveway in next to a wetland and slope it properly where it's not gonna drain into that wetland. So don't say you can't protect a wetland with a driveway.
Well,
That's not true.
with all due respect, if you're paving in, you're changing the wetland.
I don't think the biggest thing is driveways.
No,
I
I
think
know.
we're
No.
talking more like swimming pools that
Swimming
people wanna
pools.
put in.
Any
and sheds.
disturbance, any structure.
Exactly.
So if somebody's
I-
got a,
we have to, I think we have to be able to make a decision on each particular,
and that's what we do
Yeah.
now with the 100-foot setback,
It'll affect
'cause not
everybody.
every deal is the same, you know?
according to that new regulation.
I know it, well.
So I'm trying to explain is that when a major project comes in town and I recommend, or as a wetland scientist recommends, or a butters recommends the project to be denied, the Conservation Commission has the right to deny it under the regulations. But once it's appealed to the state,
The states approve it?
yes, because it's not on the regulation.
Well, the state knows what not to
Unless the town has a no disturb zone policy.
So this is.
They were acting under the policy, so there is no way of appealing it. So clearly, it's not gonna apply for
I
this
understand where you're
project at
coming
all,
from.
because
Yeah,
the
yeah.
project has already been filed, but I'm looking to further, for, future
I don't think
projects.
this board is gonna let a 40-unit apartment complex build on the wetland line. I don't think we would do that. I think you think we probably have done that in the past. I don't think we have. We've come close. We've allowed things within 5 feet of the wetlands.
That's what they are, yeah.
As a resident, I think this bill is actually really good for the town to conserve the land, because this is the conservation, right? Am I in the right meeting? I just wanna make sure. This is the conservation. We're here to conserve. We're here to protect the environment, not, hey, I'm just making sure.
This is conservation,
I
for
mean,
sure.
it's a real project. This 35 North Main Street project is a real project. I understand we're not discussing it, so I'm not gonna go into detail. But this is a real project that is huge and devastating to that particular landscape. Because we don't have a 25-yard buffer zone, those developers, these people that are coming in that have nothing to do with Charlton, they have nothing to do with this town, they are putting as many properties as they can on that piece of property because we do not have an abutting, a no-build zone.
I know, but
They're trying to build private roads. It would help projects like this with developers trying to build up this town into something like Worcester with apartment buildings
well,
and
that's kind of
everything like that.
unpreventable eventually, but I don't like to see it either.
I understand, but you're saying you have control over this. And when I was at this meeting 2 months ago, you guys said that this had to go through peer review, that there was nothing to keep them from doing it.
I wasn't at that meeting, but
I understand, and I know you're one person, but This is a real situation that's happening, and I know there's hundreds of other projects, I'm seeing them down my own road. So it's not just this one project, there's a lot that are affecting neighbors and other land and taxpayers in this town. It's not just the person that owns the property, it's the people that abut the property as well, and they should have a right. They should have a say because they pay taxes as well.
This is the original.
I pay taxes so that I don't have trees cut down around my house. There's wetlands. I bought my property knowing I had wetlands on my property. I'm okay with that. That's what I bought.
Could I chime in?
I think
just for a sentence?
I'm a little bit annoyed at the word shall that is in there 4 or 5 times. Shall is mandatory, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's what the policy will be. It will be mandatory. There is
So
no
let's
way
have
of-
this regulation, and instead of saying shall, let's say we may, or we could.
Well, that.
That doesn't make it mandatory.
That defeats the
Leave
purpose.
the door open.
That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
if you give one
Not the
person
door
a-
open for somebody
Fine,
else.
you're gonna
Somebody
give
else has got a different
That
problem.
leaves
That
the,
defeats the
that leaves
purpose
the door open for the
for them to
individual
appeal.
homeowner.
For them to appeal.
For the appeal, right, and then there's no point in writing the bill at all.
Right.
The
No,
bill,
if you
the
don't wanna
bill needs
sign
to
So
be
it,
because of
ironed out.
one project that you people are so
We're
worried
gonna
about,
penalize the whole
No,
town.
not
that
just
the whole
one
town's gotta,
project.
is gotta
It's not the
suffer.
whole
Not
town.
just one
Anybody
project.
that has property near water, stream, pond, it's all over Charlton, there's water everywhere.
Yes.
Who needs to go
Anyone that has
25 feet
property.
within
Okay, so
wetland?
the state has a 100-foot buffer, right? The state.
Yeah.
But we have nothing. So if you guys, as a panel,
Oh,
or
you have us.
whoever's after
But
you
it doesn't-
guys decides that they don't give a crap about conservation, you guys can allow them to dig into the wetlands for all they care.
Or
So
replicate
because
somewhere else,
this
or.
town bylaw comes first, this ensures that whatever happens after you guys leave, there will be security for wetlands.
Look at Sturbridge.
It's not about if you're
Sturbridge
gonna
is-
have a waterfront property or not. That's
Yeah,
not the
look
point.
at Sturbridge, that's it.
It's
That's
a
good point.
beautiful town,
Oh.
beautiful, and the taxes are high, and the houses are nice because they
They've-
have
That's right, we
good,
keep it that way.
right, because they have a good board that keeps it that way.
You
They've
guys
had a
are
lot of
If you
thinking
guys
problems.
don't wanna keep it
single-family
that way-
homes, not asphalt jungles. They're gonna put in 40 units. You understand that, right?
wanna live-
Next to us is gonna be 2 duplexes. They're gonna keep building more and more asphalt jungles.
Who's they?
The
Who's
huge
they gonna keep?
Developers, any
Developers.
developer.
The 50,000 Venezuelans that just took over Ohio, they'll be here in Charlton.
The heat index is going to skyrocket.
Well, that's only a matter of time.
It's gonna be a city. Is that what you want?
Is that the attitude that you, it's only a matter of time? Just,
No, it's a fact. It's a fact of life. They will be here. Not because I want it. I'll tell you that.
I think we're getting
But I don't
distracted
yeah,
think,
I'm sorry.
from
I
that.
don't
Even if
think
you
they,
put this law in effect, you still
Policy.
have wetlands replication, which could play a big part in, no matter what the rules are, the laws are.
the poor guy that wants to
Right,
put a
Rose?
deck down by the lake, he's not gonna be able to do that, Tom.
wetlands and,
I
Jay?
think deck and development are 2 different things. Could you guys figure out a wording that would prevent major developments that tear apart an ecosystem? Or something small like a deck or a driveway? The state already has a
I'm
5-foot,
sure we could come up with that wording.
that would be lovely.
That's
I
why we're
think
here
that's
to
an
discuss.
excellent-
I'm trying to
This is why we're
protect,
discussing.
I'm trying to protect the 1 and 2 family homeowner that's got a home on the lake or,
I am a 1-family homeowner. I care about woods. I moved to Charlton for the woods, for the lakes, for the streams, for the quiet that this town has.
but if you was living on the lake,
I live on a property with wetlands.
okay, but you wouldn't want us to say, no, you can't put a patio or a deck
If I
area.
bought that property, I would know. Because any homeowner that buys a piece of land understands that if they have wetlands on that, they cannot build within a certain thing. This is exactly what happened when I bought my house in Auburn. I had wetlands on my house in Auburn. I
Excuse me,
knew if I
Tom.
could expand,
Jay
I
wanted to say
couldn't do
something.
that
That's
because of the
awkward,
wetland
Dave.
boundary.
Let her finish. I'm
I
sorry,
couldn't
say it
do that
again.
when I had
couldn't
my
hear
house
you.
in Auburn. I bought a property in Auburn, it had wetlands on it. I knew that, I bought that property knowing I couldn't build within 15 feet of that property. That's normal in every town.
Right.
So,
I think what he's concerned about is the people that are already here in town adding something on their property. I think that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, no, it
And
is,
then-
that's what I'm concerned with.
But wetlands and ponds are totally different. Like, are you gonna build a dock out on mosquito infested wetland? I'm really, like, wetland.
No, I'm talking, I'm,
Jay wanted to say something.
we have
We're
a
not
lot
talking
of homes
about
around the lakes. And
That's
they
not a
do,
lake,
and
that's
they
not
do put,
wetland.
they do put patios and
That's
decks.
fine, that doesn't, that
But allow
doesn't,
there to
that
be a
bill is not
permitting
affecting
system,
that.
right?
It's
Yes,
not
it is.
affecting them, if it's in within 25 feet, it does.
No, wetlands.
He's-
So-
he's
So
talking
the
about-
policy also refers to resource area, which could be a lake, but again,
Of course
it's
it could
open
be a
for
lake.
discussion and it's open for, change on the
Maybe,
wording.
maybe
We're
there's
just
some way to
discussing.
exempt,
Maybe we can,
Single
Right,
family
I think we need to
homeowner?
think
can we
about this.
continue this to the next
Could you
meeting?
use the wording single family home?
1 and 2 family homeowners.
This is
that's
the
what-
discussion.
that's
Come up
what-
with some better wording?
Well, we'll discuss the wording tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, so Jay, do you need to have the same?
Well, I
We don't
would
have to do
recommend
that,
not
Tom.
voting on
We don't
anything
have
and
to
let everybody
discuss that
digest it. I
tonight.
think there's a lot of stuff being discussed. And just to clarify a few things, I know it was mentioned that the town doesn't have any regulations and the state has 100-foot, the town follows the state regulations. So there already is a 100-foot buffer zone.
We do, yeah.
But they don't have to follow it, right?
Well, the state has regulations in place, and if they don't feel that it needs to be, knocked down to 25 feet, no disturb, the town should consider why the state doesn't think it's,
Exactly.
that it's that important. I'm not saying that the wetlands need to be damaged, but if it is built correctly and there's erosion controls put in place and stormwater management is taken care of, the wetlands are not harmed by developing up close to them. And it does make it tough on every project to just have a set line of 25 feet you cannot touch.
But that's so small, 25 feet is like nothing, like why?
It is.
We're not even requesting 25 feet, I think it's, what is it? What did I write? Oh, I'm sorry, it's in front of me.
15 feet, no
15
disturb,
feet, no
25,
disturb
no
zone,
build.
which you cannot disturb the land, a 25-foot no build. So you won't be building a structure.
So, that-
Or vice versa, and
that
again, this
15
is just a
that-
draft.
That 15 foot doesn't mean much if you can't do anything within 25 feet. I don't know why the 15 foot is in there.
Or vice versa, and again, it was a draft, so the conversation can take place and it can be changed, it can be tailored to not include lakes, since their lots are so tight. If you need to have a shed, usually you are, but then you have zoning setbacks, which is already 30
If
feet.
this was passed tonight, is that gonna affect that 40-unit development?
Of course.
No.
No.
That's what I mean.
But we might be
And I don't think
having,
we're gonna have
we
many.
might be having an application coming next week, and then it will continue on coming. It had just passed last year, this project would not have been proposed as it is. So it's time, in my opinion, but again, it's just
Well,
not a conversation.
Most building
What
contractors,
if you, excuse me, if you added for new construction? Then that would exempt the people that already have a place.
I wouldn't mind that if it was commercial construction. But the 1 and 2 family homeowner trying to raise a family in town, around a lake, or even around a wetland area, they might wanna put an above-ground pool within.
But if you know when you
and go
buy that-
23 feet away from the wetland.
If you buy the property knowing ahead of time, if I buy this land, I
You
know the
design
rules,
as
you
so.
make that choice.
Then you're making it
What
very
about the
hard
people that already own the property?
for a landowner to sell his property.
But then you can have wording that says if somebody currently owns a single family or a two-family home, they currently,
Are exempt.
they are exempt.
Right.
When that title passes, the new owner cannot build, or whatever it is. Okay? You could grandfather in single-family and two-family properties in Charlton, and it would help limit big developers coming in from outside. It would help new property, people who are buying land and trying to build a house. They would buy it knowing that they can't build within the buffer zone anyway.
I like
think
the
it
idea
would
of
be a good
grandfather, right,
safeguard.
if that's feasible.
most building contractors work well with the conservation. Most developers, they come in here, we tell them what our concerns, they tell us their concerns, we tell them what our concerns are, and they're more than happy to
So
cooperate with us.
what about City Depot
So I
Road?
don't understand
What
why
about City
you
Depot
have to
Road?
put in such a stringent,
What
This
about City
didn't pop
Depot
up when
Road?
Amazon come into town.
What about City Depot Road?
about who?
City Depot Road. That proves the void.
Okay, so that's one.
So you wait till a major mistake and go, that's okay?
That's
we
one, and we're
legally put
working
in
with,
grandfather
we're
rights?
trying,
You
we're
didn't
trying to
answer my
work
This
with.
is a policy that the commission will
I
draft
understand
and
that, but
approve.
that's
and
one.
it-
So why
it's-
should everybody
it's your
in the whole
wording.
town suffer?
That's why we're discussing
It's not
it.
the whole
Property
town,
near-
not if it's new
But it has to be
Wetlands,
discussed in a
not if
public
it's new
hearing,
construction.
so
No,
just
you're wrong.
introduce it to be discussed.
Yeah.
You
You-
can tailor the way you choose, there is no.
It doesn't have to be accepted or turned down tonight, does it?
Could we do a second draft of the wording? What's the, I mean, we're.
Well, that's
clearly
why we're
concerned-
discussing, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think we should vote on it tonight, because clearly there's a huge divide in terms of the wording. Does it make sense to approve something that nobody's really,
Oh, no, we're discussing
yeah.
any change to it.
I mean, if we don't do it tonight, we're not gonna stop that 40 lots.
But that ain't gonna, this ain't making no
understand
difference.
that. I'm trying
But
to
that's
prevent,
stopping nothing here.
Yeah, we're
I'm
not
trying
stopping.
to prevent
anything.
another 40 lot property from happening.
Yeah.
Because what I'm going through shouldn't happen to anybody else. That's what I'm trying to prevent. That's my job as a citizen of this town. It may not benefit me, but if it benefits somebody else,
Ed,
that would be great.
there's
If they
always-
wake up and they don't see trees in their backyard
There's
anymore,
always something.
that's probably a
I-
good thing.
I would like to research this a little more and give us another 2 weeks or a month or whatever. I mean, it doesn't have to be done tonight.
So the wording could be worked out tonight. So what is part of the wording that you believe that it should be?
I just said, I'd like to.
And by you, I
I'd
mean
like to research-
everybody
I'd
else.
like to research.
You
if-
can do your research on your own time, but they still have a sayings of what type of wording should be drafted on, so we can keep.
Well, I'm not
on.
ready to work on the wording myself. If they want to, fine.
That's great, okay. Anything, any proposed?
I would propose for new construction.
New construction, that's an idea, okay. I'm just writing down and then we'll come up with a
Commercial or
draft.
residential?
New
Yes.
construction.
New construction.
So you're gonna penalize a 1 and 2 family homeowner?
I'm sorry?
You need to
Well,
include the village
no, I'm not,
zoning
because
in
they
that
would
as
have
well.
decision not to buy the land.
People that can do the two, the village zoning in the town, so it's not
I'd
just
just like to make it
commercial
so
and
we can
residential,
protect
it's the
grandfather
village
and everybody who's in town now.
zoning.
And then I agree
Well,
with
zoning
the,
doesn't apply
the
for
other part of it,
conservation.
that they should-
It doesn't matter where the construction is
No, I'm
taking
just saying,
place.
like, cause I know I'm zoned village, and it's not just straight residential,
I know.
so I just wanna make sure that
The
would be
state has
covered in
approved
that, so
100
there's.
yeah.
I
If
think
they
you'd
think
have
it's
to do
all right,
something like that.
then why the hell why should we?
New
penalize?
construction in general,
That's my
I don't
problem.
have to specify. I don't wanna get into
Things change,
Yeah,
not,
but it would cover.
Ed,
new construction within the town.
grandfather what? New,
So if you already have an
new property
existing,
owners or new
if
construction?
you're, you can word it, so if you already have a structure or you already own the land, if you're a homeowner, you
Right.
bought the land, you haven't developed it, but you already own the land,
Right,
we could say, then your grandfather did. If you're coming in and buying up, hypothetically, I'm not saying this would be the case, just an example. Fay Mountain Farm says, we're done, we're out of here, and then the guy goes in, I wanna develop a 50-unit place up in Fay Mountain Farm, that's where something like this would kick in. That's an example.
But we own the farm.
I understand that, but
Yeah.
that's why I said, hence
So
the word
somebody comes in and
hypothetical.
wants to buy,
Hence the word hypothetical.
so somebody comes in and wants to buy some piece of property, and they figure they can use all their property right up within, or whatever, as long as they come to the commission.
They will know, they
They
need
will
to
know ahead of
be,
time.
they need to be educated
Prior to buying.
But,
prior of purchasing it.
and, exactly, so what that does is it depreciates actually your property,
No, it doesn't.
if you wanna sell it. Yes, it does.
If you can't use all your property, it depreciates your property.
Only if you own the property.
That's
If
exactly
you do your
right.
research prior to buying
But I
the
just said,
property,
if you
then
already
no.
own the land, you would be exempt, that was I'm
So
proposing.
it may prevent someone from buying a beautiful
That's
piece of
exact-
land that he wants to live on,
That they would
or that he wants to
overdevelop.
develop.
Or whatever.
They
Even
just will develop 15 feet
They just will.
less.
But this is the conservation.
Listen,
You're not-
I've been building for 50 years. 15 feet or 25 feet means a lot in many lots, let me tell you. It means a lot.
I'd like to also add a few different items. So, in the state of Massachusetts, they just passed $1 billion housing bill because there's no houses available.
Yeah.
They
For
need,
who?
they need houses,
For who?
the entire state, the
No, I
entire
know,
state.
for who, for housing
And
who?
this, Charlton alone now has to allow accessory dwelling units on these properties. So we already have to allow apartments to put on these properties. That's how little housing is available. There's nothing on the market. And, you know, a wetland line isn't a straight line. So, and I know this because I design a lot of these. You don't have a straight line in a wetland. So
True.
you have all these little points that come down.
True.
So just because, you know, you say it's only 15 feet or 25 feet, it could basically damage an entire property that you couldn't fit something on, that you
No, I
potentially could
understand.
fit something on now. Because of just one little point that comes out now, all of a sudden you can't meet that setback.
right? So you can't put a giant building with no backyard and no side, you can't
Or you
use the
can put a
90%
small house
of.
if that's the case as well.
But
Can't-
if
Yeah.
you have the
can't
new
make a giant-
construction piece of this, the person that would be looking at the property, their potential property to build on,
Becomes
would know they
non-buildable.
can't.
Becomes non-buildable and you can't put a house on it, exactly.
What type of lot would that be?
Any type of lot.
What's the square footage of a lot like that, where the wetlands would make it so they can't build a single thing?
60,000 square feet for,
Right, well,
Yeah, it's gotta
well, it
be
depends,
two-thirds
what- if you're in
buildable.
village, then it's only
It's
20,000
only 40.
square feet or 40,000 square feet, so like,
Right.
right
So a
now.
small area.
Right, but the people that wanna develop things wanna put multiple two-family homes on something less than an acre, but let them put a single family, and then they don't have to worry about it. They can go smaller, there's always room to go smaller, you don't need to let everybody come and build these giant things in this town.
because the construction business is all about making money. That's what they're doing it
So
for.
you just
We're
wanna
gonna
sell out charter,
sacrifice-
you're gonna sell
We
out
make
charter.
money and we spend it on
But
homes,
basically,
so,
you're saying
no.
that you would sacrifice the conservation
no,
that you're on
no.
for the sake of the dollar.
I
That's
think,
basically what it sounds like.
Right.
I disagree with Rose when she says we haven't done a good job in keeping people
I
in that
never
never,
way.
said
I
that.
never say that.
She never said that.
She said we have many times gone against her and let
I'm
people
sorry,
build
against
closer.
me, it's your decision, the commission decisions to
That's
make,
right.
I make a recommendation,
And
that
you
was,
seem-
I never used those words.
But it sounds like you're condescending. You're dunning us because you wanna do this, so we can't let anybody build within 25 feet anymore.
I need to rephrase this. This was brought to me by people who are concerned. So my job is just to bring a draft to you and let you discuss and you decide it. I'm
Okay.
not being condescending anyways.
So we
I
c-
said in the past, this commission has approved
Okay.
retaining walls within a foot of a
So
wetland.
how can we
That's all I want to say.
vote on this tonight if this is just a draft and the wording could be changed?
I'm not asking to vote, I'm asking to discuss, I'm asking to redraft, to look at different language in different aspects, I'm just asking to discuss. That's all what I
Well,
asked.
I wanna do a little research and see what other people are doing and see how they feel
You
about it.
just say monkey something, monkey now, that we don't have to
Next
do what
meeting,
other people
next
do.
meeting, 2 weeks. Whenever.
A big issue like this is pretty serious, as you're talking about everybody in the town that it
Yes, and
affects
this
a
is
lot
the
of
third-
people.
this
And I
is-
think that
If you had a
other
home-
people should have a voice in it.
If you had a home on the water or near a wetland and you wanted to put up a pool or a
I am
deck.
trying to understand why you're so aggressive towards me. I'm recommending
No,
it
no,
because
I'm
it
saying,
came to
but you
me,
want us to
so.
vote on it, word this tonight.
No,
Can I
we're
say
They
something for a
don't.
minute, 1 second? On the top, it says no disturb build policy. On all new construction as of this date, is that feasible?
It's your,
I'm just asking, is it
Sure.
feasible?
are you asking me
Well, I
or the
suppose it's
commission?
feasible.
It's your decision to make. I'm just introducing the topic. Does anybody
Yeah.
understand that?
Well, it says for new construction, right? Does it say new
Yes.
construction? You couldn't put today, because you'd have to set it out in the future, so.
Yeah, as of date, as
So-
of this date. So,
But that-
put a date in it.
But that takes into consideration commercial and or residential.
We're trying to control all that shit. Excuse me.
Right, we would have, if we set a date, it would have to be, if we approved it, I'm saying we are, if we approved it, we'd have to set it once, I would assume, months down the road, so people have time to make the decision whether or not they wanna buy the land to develop it. I understand what Jay's saying too, and that's the whole problem conservation's been dealing with forever, is providing homes, but at the same time protecting wetlands. That's the balance we do all the time.
Not even single-family homes, though, it's many homes. That's the weird part, and very small amounts of land that are 100% wetlands or have a ton of wetlands.
And
It's
we-
putting multifamilies over and over and over doing that. That's the crazy part.
You know, it's like
Oh,
the
they-
single family owner like
Hmm?
you're
I
talking
think
about.
maybe people wouldn't object unless you're like 5 feet, but 25 feet, 20 feet.
Correct me if
Even
I'm wrong,
15
and I
feet.
don't know if this is.
Well, how about if we drop the footage from 25, say, vote on 15 feet?
Again, it's open to discussion.
I'd
I
say
would
not
probably go along with that.
Go along with 10 feet, not 15. 15
Put But if the minimum is 100 feet with the state, so why is it such a big
So
one?
there is no minimum to stay, it's within the 100 feet. They can disturb within
That
the
trips the
100 feet.
regulation when you go within 100 feet.
So when you go through, when you hit the 100 feet, it triggers the regulation. If you stay outside the 100 feet, we have no say on it. So when you get to 100 feet, now you need to come in from the commission and the state, and you can disturb to the 90 feet, to the 80, to the 50, to the 40. You can
Stay 10
disturb
feet
into
away
the
from
wetlands, and you
everything.
can replicate the wetlands someplace else. And if you
Instead of
cannot
right up to the
replicate
land
within the
line.
site, you can replicate off-site. The regulations covers all of that.
If somebody wants to
But
put a
most
deck
towns and some towns choose to have their own policies because they do not want to follow the regulations. They believe that they need to enforce a stricted policy.
No
From,
build.
from
If you
everything
wanna
I've
put a
read
deck
online, from
10
the
feet
state,
away
that
from
gives
the
us,
line,
the
you
state
couldn't
always
put a
says
no
that it's up to
build.
the town to actually make things even more stringent.
crazy.
That- so
Correct.
It's up to the town to allow, to
And I
protect
have,
more.
since this project came along, I have been
Let's go
having
10
a
foot.
lot of
No
emails
disturb, no build.
and requests, and so what I did was
And you got a
draft
lot
it
of-
and it's open for,
A lot of wetlands.
consideration, voting, denial. That's all what it is. Doesn't need to be those numbers. I use those numbers from a different town. Again, it's open to discussion. Doesn't have to be approved as it is.
What's the difference in, and I'm probably stupid here, but 15-foot no disturb and 25-foot no build? What's the no disturb
When you're disturbing the soil, sometimes people just wanna put a shed.
or a garden? Or,
A shed is just a structure, that pre-made shed, it doesn't require disturbing of the soil, so you just drop the shed in. So that way you have a way to be, having more space to do so.
Yeah, but if it
No,
goes
sorry.
But
25
again,
feet
and
back, you can't use
just
it.
again, numbers from different towns, it doesn't have to be that way. I just threw numbers there so you guys can discuss it. This is not to be approved as it is by any means.
I would be all for a 10-foot no disturb, no build. Keep everybody away 10 feet automatically. Then if you wanted to put a shed 15 feet out, you could do it, or 12 feet out.
I think 10 is reasonable. I think 25 makes things tough in a lot of properties.
But that's
Again.
coming from the person that makes the money building the things. So I think we need to worry about the wetlands first, not the builder. That's where, like, outside of whatever single-family home, whatever exemption you wanna throw in there for existing people.
I'm worried
That
about
is
the,
not what we should
I don't
be
care about
concerned
the
about
builder,
policing.
I'm worried about the homeowner, the property owner, the taxpayer.
Just to clarify, the
Yes.
designer that designs the homes for the people that need them in town.
Yes.
No.
I know.
Yeah,
Like
I
a
think
10
if
feet,
somebody is
people grandfather
buying a
people
property
grandfather.
right now,
Huh?
or looking to buy a
And
property
grandfather
right
in
now,
everybody, the
they
residents.
should know, as I was when I bought in this town, how far, if there's any regulation. Okay, it's just, good home, when you buy a house, be aware of what you're buying, be aware of what's on your land, and what you can and can't do with it.
Right, so you bought the property,
Yeah, exactly,
and you researched it,
exactly.
but now you're not happy.
No,
Now
I'm
you
not
wanna-
happy with the fact that there isn't
Right,
a
but you
restriction
still
on
bought the
somebody
property.
else's property,
Yeah, but-
because I pay taxes
But you still
on
bought
my
the
own
property.
property.
Right.
I
She's
bought the
not-
property
she's
with
not
the research.
concerned
About her
to
property.
disturb, she's concerned,
Because I can understand why she's concerned, because the 42 units is a big unit, a big, big project. I
But I'm also
understand that.
driving through Charlton and I'm seeing 2 houses on Main Street, 4 duplexes being built there. And I'm seeing this all over, I'm seeing
I'm not seeing
big
single-family
houses
homes
built
being
on
built.
very small properties. And I'm seeing them
But
close
the-
to water
That,
bodies.
that's
So-
more of a zoning issue.
I understand that, and I know it's a multifaceted issue, but I think if there are pieces of legislation or whatever bylaws that we can put into effect to protect certain
right,
pieces
but that
of
has
land-
nothing to do with what's being built. It has to do with how close proximity it is to the resource area.
That's what I'm,
Yeah.
Okay.
say there was a piece of land like this, I'm using it as an example, because yes, it is next to my property and I'm in a butter, but I am also abutting a very large parcel of land across the street. Okay? And so there's all these properties, I have family in Charlton that this affects, or would affect, because they have stuff on their property too.
I think the duplex on Main Street, they are a good 15 feet away from the wetlands. I mean, it doesn't happen often,
but we just don't have something to prevent it from
Right.
being done further, which
That's
is
what,
what you're
that's what I'm
trying
trying
to
to
do.
say, yeah.
And I think the new construction, that's the problem. It's all the people coming in and doing the new construction.
Oh, it looks like it was
Even if we want to
I
stop
don't
it, they
understand
can
why
go
we're
get a,
clearing.
We're gonna stay anyhow.
huh?
If we can get even 10 feet, and it's not ideal, but still 10 feet across the whole width,
Commercial
that's still a lot.
builders do, if we shut
This
that
is your lot, hypothetically,
down there,
right, acre
they would
lot,
go to the state.
half, quarter, whatever an acre is, right? So you get half, right
But
by
if we have a 10
half,
foot,
and you go 10 feet
I'd like
across
to
that
have
whole
10-foot, no disturb, no build.
width, that's still a lot.
With the existing
Better than nothing.
landowners as of this date, you, him,
Yeah,
all,
well, better than a foot wall.
all new lots.
We have a foot retaining wall.
Right, no, I mean, I agree with 25 might be a bit
No,
aggressive.
10-foot, no disturb, no build.
I can tell you right now,
As of
the
the
way this
date
is going,
was
if we try to
exempt.
vote some language tonight, it's not.
All new lots and new commercial
Doesn't
buildings
need to
would
fly
be,
like that, I
have to
just
stay at
put
least
it
10
there.
feet away.
No, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I
We
would
could
like, I
keep
would
them back
suggest that
further.
for the next meeting, we all get a chance to submit language, come up with something. That's what I said.
What if we kept the minimum 15-foot no disturb zone and the 25-foot no build zone at 15, keep it, both of them at the same at 15? Is that feasible?
I guess anything's feasible.
I think it's better than anything.
I prefer 10, but
Would
think
anybody,
it's better than
anybody have an
anything.
objection to 15 feet all the way around?
I prefer 10.
I don't object to
Actually, I
15, but
prefer-
I also
I prefer not.
understand your guys' point, we should be put in there if it's not, I didn't, you know, for new construction.
We're just,
grandfather-
we're just
grand-
discussing the language so I can go
Yeah.
back and redraft.
existing landowners, as of the date we sign this, would be exempt. I mean, they,
Right. Grandfathered in.
Right.
Like, grandfather, like my building is grandfathered.
Yeah, you guys don't have to worry, do whatever you want.
That's not quite what we said.
I've presented 10 feet.
Any more thoughts?
I presented 10 feet, Thomas presented 15 feet. What?
Why
do you
don't
all
we
think?
vote?
I presented 10 feet.
15?
You?
I say 15.
Yeah.
I agree with 15.
I think 15 is fair. Everybody's getting something. That's the way you negotiate.
But, okay.
For new, for new.
And what is it for new constructions?
No, that would be for new.
Say it again?
That would be for new construction, because I understand their point for people who already own
And you
properties.
can't have it both ways. You can't have a new construction and old construction. Everybody's gonna be treated the same.
Yeah, but it's a building's already there.
Yeah.
Right.
You open
They could
yourself
be-
up for a lawsuit.
No, you can do new, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I know with, from building code, if you have an existing house
Your grandfathered in.
and you have a fieldstone foundation, they don't come to your house and say, fieldstone's not code today, you gotta put in a new foundation. Correct me if I'm wrong, that's what I've been told.
And you can add up to 50% of the footprint after that, so. Even if it's not zoned.
But a new construction has to comply with the codes. So you could make it for new construction.
I mean, right now, we're controlling 100 feet, correct?
Yeah.
99.
Well, that's when you trip the regulation with the state, but that doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, once you trip it, then the state looks at it and says, okay, how close are you getting, what are you doing to mitigate the damage? You could go right up to the edge of the wetland, correct me if I'm wrong.
You can disturb the wetlands itself and you can replicate
I don't, yeah.
according to the
that's right.
regulations.
But I don't ever remember the state coming back and saying, letting somebody build right to the lot line.
The regulations allow you to just, to put a culvert in the wetlands as long as you replicate.
No, but I'm saying, if we turn somebody down, if somebody wanted to build on the lot line or 1 foot away,
I'm not sure what do you mean by lot line? You mean the
You mean the wetlands?
wetland line?
yeah, the wetland. line.
Okay,
If we turn them down and says, no, you can stay 10 feet away, and they appeal to the state.
they can't appeal to the state. It's
Not if we have the bylaw.
No, but
No, I'm
policy.
not talking about this bylaw. As
So-
it stands now,
Correct.
they can appeal to
Oh,
the
I'm
state.
sorry, if it stands now, yeah, they will appeal.
But the state,
And you don't trust the state to protect the,
I don't ever
The
remember the
environment.
state saying somebody can build within 5 feet.
Was that a rhetorical question?
That's not you. It's you guys, it just gives a.
It's the community to protect itself.
I
If you go
never
on
said I don't trust the
mass.gov and read
state.
about,
Why are
conservation,
people
it says
putting
the
words in my
community should
mouth?
take things
No, Ron was
further
asking.
than the state
What?
bylaws,
Ron
or
was
the
asking
state regards,
actually.
says the community, look at Sturbridge, at how nice it is. That's
Rose,
why,
Rose, what is in place as far as like?
yeah, go talk to anybody in Sturbridge about their wetlands, see what they
Say
tell
it again,
you.
I'm sorry, just a
I
second.
know,
Say it
that's
again,
off the
Jim.
record.
beautiful
What's
houses.
in place for
Just a second.
What's in place
I
for
know all
wetland
about
filling, like
Sturbridge.
wetland crossings, like for a driveway to access backland? Are they allowed to still, is there any waivers? I know all the towns have waivers as well.
Right, yeah. So clearly, that's what I'm saying, it's like you're allowed to cross a wetland for, and propose a culvert, so you're clearly gonna have to, for a driveway like you mentioned, how many projects do we have that, many that you have designed?
Yeah.
To access the lots, you have, Butcher Road, Butcher Drive,
Busher.
Butcher, yeah, to access the lot, you have to cross the wetland.
Would this prevent that from happening?
No, you would have to add the language to it that you not, as long as it's not preventing access to the lot. Again, this is just
Right.
because
So
you
there's no-
cannot, if you have a 2-acre lot, but the only way to access the lot is to cross a stream or a resource area, Busher Drive or road, I'm not quite sure what it is, that's the entire road. That's 17 lots on that road that you have to cross and you have to replicate. We just approved one. So you, clearly this, you have to be in a way, especially in Charlton, we have a lot of lots that you need to cross the resource area to access the lot.
You
Now,
still
is
be
this
able to
gonna
replicate
eliminate,
that no build, no use.
So that wouldn't apply for that, because otherwise people
You
would
can
not,
still
the lot
replicate.
would not be buildable, you cannot access the lot. And they would have, of course, per regulations, if you disturb a wetland, you have to replicate.
would this eliminate anybody filling in and replicating and
No.
still build on that area that they filled in?
So
Or is this
the feeling, the disturbing the wetlands and replicating would be really decreased, because this is saying that you cannot be close to 15 feet.
No, but I
So-
think what Tom is asking is, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
If you say, all right, on your lot, this corner here, I'm gonna fill in, whatever, 500 square feet, that's within 15 feet. But we allow them to replicate on that lot what they're filling in,
Can't
that
do it.
part. That's what I'm asking.
Not quite sure of the question yet, sorry.
All right, so, correct me if I'm wrong, so Tom's wants to fill in, just
Wha-
hypothetical,
why
400
would he-
square feet that's within, and it goes up right to the edge of the wetland, okay?
But.
Hang on, just let me finish. So he does, but if he fills in that 400 square feet elsewhere on that same lot, because we have this reg of whatever, 10, 15
Oh,
feet.
you mean if you allowed?
If you allow them to do that, fill in that
If the project
corner,
fell,
Would we allow them to replicate elsewhere on the lot? So you're basically swapping where
If
the
we have
wetlands
an,
on the lot.
if the project fell within the exemption, which is that he will have to cross a resource area to access the lot.
Well, no,
and he
he
would
just wants to
disturb.
he wants to fill in 15 feet of what he can't disturb. He wants to dig that out and put it somewhere else in the wetland. Or to make another wetland,
Yeah, make
same
another
size
wetland,
square
right,
footage, or 1.5 times bigger. If he can't, if there's a no disturb, that means he can't dig into that 15 feet.
Correct, he is not digging there at all.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that answers your question.
Yeah.
Answer that question.
So
Yeah,
he can't even replicate, he can't.
No.
if
15
he
feet.
can't-
it's no disturb, you don't go there.
Can't do it.
I still wanna,
However,
If you have to access the lot.
if he has to access the lot,
yeah,
of course, we can't,
we can't landlock him.
no, of course, and there might be other things that we might be looking at it. Anything in mind?
Well, I mean, by allowing them to access the backland, you're basically doing the same thing by cutting off the front lane if you're not allowing them to go within 15 feet of the wetland. I mean, it's the same thing.
No, right, will be, those, it will be exempt from this policy, but
Yeah, it's just-
anything,
it needs to be written so that there are,
right,
it's not
so,
black and white.
right, was there anything else that
Any
crossed your mind?
exemptions?
I didn't know what this until now.
Can you get the wording from the other towns as to how they?
This is it,
That's
That's
it?
why I just copied the one from either Auburn or Oxford.
Now, who
This-
put that bug in your ear?
What
Which
bug?
town? Oxford?
No, I think
No,
she's
no.
responding to the concerns of the butters.
Oh,
And not even
the
just
property
me,
owners down there
there's
on L.
other people in
Stevens.
town. Cause I just found out about this today.
Yeah.
So I brought it up at a meeting because it affected the
It was,
project that
it wasn't
I-
just hers, many people brought up, called, emailed. And then I brought up to a few members who asked, we have one, and I said, it was introduced a few years ago, but it
This is the
didn't
first
pass.
time tonight I've heard of this thing.
No, we have introduced 2 years ago.
Huh?
It was introduced 2 years ago, but the commission chose not to vote on it.
Did we vote on it 2 years ago?
No,
No.
you chose not to. Yeah. No, you denied. You voted no. Yeah.
Well,
You'll have to be-
I'd still go with 15 feet. And I think
But
we're-
looking for a language that would,
Well, before we vote, we gotta include the exam.
Well, I would go with 10 feet.
so
We know.
I go to.
we already had the majority of 15.
We have a
But it's-
majority of 15?
Can we go with 15 feet on all new construction as of a certain date?
Well, it will be as the date as that's adopted. So the date that's adopted is the
Where's the
date
majority?
that is,
Where's the 15-feet majority?
so it's Tom,
Yeah, where's the
Alan.
15
We haven't voted
majority?
yet,
Nobody voted, but
so we'd have to do a
Alan, would
vote.
you like 10 feet or 15 feet?
About 12 feet.
12 and a half, right?
now you make,
Compromise.
No, I think 10 feet is doable, in making people happy.
I just really, it is my opinion that 5 feet and 1 foot, that's really what is the most concern to me. That is
Right, but
just,
I understand what,
yeah.
hang on, what Jay is saying too, is if you have a lot and there's scattered, yeah, I wish I could, but you had scattered
Most
like
of them are.
little wetlands on it, and you go 10 feet out in every direction, that adds quite a, if there's several different, versus just one corner, which 10 feet's not much. But not all lots are like that.
Yeah, and that's.
There are a lot of different-
That one corner could squash a project.
And there are a lot
If
of
you
different
already own
things
the
too,
piece
that
of
we're
land.
saying everything's black and white. When you buy a piece of land, it is what it is.
Yes,
I've had beavers build dams,
yeah,
26 acres are now wetlands
yeah,
that I can't build on.
yeah.
I can't access land behind it, it's prohibitive. It's $750,000 to put a bridge across it. Not worth it. That's just the way it is. The pond I live on raised the water level. I lost 20 foot of frontage when it went up 2 feet and the water came 20 feet further in. So it's not as black and white as you get what you buy what you saw and it stays that way. It doesn't necessarily.
So if you built the
So
deck-
what if something happened where I had already built a house on either of those places? And now, because of the encroachment of the water in the wetlands, it's within 10 feet of my house. And my porch falls off. I can't
Very-
build a porch
very
So it's
cool.
on a
grandfathered
property
in.
that I had 40 foot of leeway.
It's grandfathered in, and like my house, I'm grandfathered in on village zoning, and my house can burn down and I can build it back up as long as it stays within the same footing, or you're allowed to, it's in the verbiage for the building, that you
So
can
we're looking
repair, you have the right to
grandfathering?
repair. So you
Yeah.
can rebuild your porch,
Oh, we cannot use that
you
one?
can't throw a larger one on, make it go off.
No, but the question would be,
This is what existing,
if that was in place, could you still rebuild?
if we
Because
change
now
it to.
I might be within that 15 feet or 25 feet.
That would be
Okay.
rebuilding, unless you're building a whole, a new
So
type of construction.
you will not
If you're
apply
just
for
rebuilding,
existing.
You'd be allowed to.
No, but what I'm saying is if that water has now encroached on your property for whatever reason, raising the level of a pond,
Your grandfather.
And then you lose another 15 on
It'd be
top.
great,
But
we
you're
said,
not
we
doing
said
if
for
there
new.
was if this was in for, not that it's new construction,
That's what the bill's written as, new construction, not rebuilding, that's all grandfathered.
We were gonna put new.
yeah, so that's what I'm
So
saying. It
you're
would have to
allowed.
be something more for new people
Right.
starting out,
And that's
not
what
something
That's
that's
what
I think
there.
it should be a no build, no use.
Yeah, it would be
build. I
just
think
new
it should be
construction.
Maybe a no
New
build,
Nothing
not no
existing.
use.
you would apply for
For instance,
existing.
if you had a.
And there are no guarantees.
I understand.
Things change all the
Well,
time.
that's what I said, the wetland
You can't park your
expands.
cars on it.
So if we,
You were talking about for new construction.
You're not digging the ground.
if we approve a project today that is 15 feet because of the policy, in a decade, that 15 feet can be turned into 10 because wetlands do expand in the amount of rain we have it, and hence the policy, not just to protect the border vegetated wetland, but to also protect the homeowner building so closely that, you know, it's just how life is now, the amount of increase of flooding and everything else.
Whatever we do, all of this is gonna have to go down on the building permit. People gotta know if they're gonna buy something, not after they buy it,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
even before,
What does it have to do with the building?
yeah.
You'd have to let the building department know that that's,
Yeah.
if that we approve that.
Because we're
So-
setting more or less a law.
So that
Alan,
we,
you'd be happy
It
to
is.
talk?
So anything that is,
Any new
anything that,
construction,
any
Anything in
new
that range.
anything that is, it goes
That's
to
what
the
I
building
thought 10
department,
was
conservation.
Pretty basic, but
I have to sign off.
I know you have to sign off, I think what Tom is saying, we should notify the
what's the
building
distance from
inspector, that's the
a
change.
stream or
So
a wetland?
Kurt doesn't say, yeah, you can build
Or
this.
from the lake?
And
it's a
then after,
courtesy, is basically what
If
it
you wanna
is.
put a
Courtesy.
deck down by
It's
your
gonna
lake.
really bother me a lot.
How does Auburn handle it?
I mean,
I mean,
12
we look
feet.
at, I mean, there's other towns that have
I
this in
use
place.
I don't know, I don't know.
Call and figure out how they handle
15
things
feet,
with decks
stream
and
of
everything like that.
Well, again, we're just starting the
That's what I'm
process,
saying,
yeah.
like, that's the research process that I would be curious to hear, how they
And
reword
it's
those
gonna bother you
exemptions.
too. And it's
Because
gonna
it does
bother
happen. I
anybody
had
that's got any
beavers
property
on my
anywhere
childhood
wetlands
property.
on that.
You couldn't do anything. This is what it is. But
You got a buildable lot, it's gonna bother you
it
too.
happens.
That's what I'm talking about. For one project.
So are we looking to
Which we
15
overlook
feet
anyhow.
and looking to new construction and not apply for
I don't-
existing? Is
I
that
don't
what
think
we?
we've established 15 feet yet.
Okay, then let's do establish 10 or 15, so we can
I would go with 10.
go home.
10,
10.
I would go 10.
that's fine.
I recommend 15. I think it's compromising between the 25 that you have there. I think that's my opinion.
I go with 15.
What about 12?
That's what Alan said.
No, really. Every foot counts.
It makes difficult for
Well, whether,
enforcing
no, it
it.
doesn't. Whether it's 10, 11, or 12, they're gonna measure, they're gonna measure to within a foot. I'm sure they know how to
It's
do it.
easier to stay 10, 15.
It's easy to say.
It's locked if it's 15, if I say 15.
I think 10 is easier to say than 15.
Oh, is that how you pronounce now that we're counting?
Syllables,
Okay.
syllables.
15.
Well, you went 10, I went 10.
I went 10.
He went 10.
Can we go 12.5?
To get to the half feet.
You rock, paper, scissors.
I think either one is good. I mean, honestly, it pushes, I'm just trying to express that anything at this point is better than what is there now, which is nothing. So I'm very happy actually to see that.
Let's get this established at 10 feet, and we can work on it later. I mean, she'd like to get something going.
It's true.
I'll go with the 12 feet.
12
12
feet.
feet.
I
I'll
mean,
go with 12.
you know,
12.
we
12
gotta,
feet.
we gotta, like, he's right, we gotta put something down now, and then we can always adjust it.
We'll put 12 down
All
now.
right, okay. Is everybody
What-
happy?
what's that, 12?
I need a motion for the 12 feet.
Motion made to make it
12.
12 feet. No disturb, no build.
Okay,
Existing homeowners, grandfather.
correct. And
I
need a
got the
second?
word in new construction will not apply. I need to inform everyone, the word grandfather is no longer allowed to be utilized in
Existing.
Massachusetts. So
Or
that word is
pre-existing.
not gonna be there. I will come up with the language now.
Pre-existing,
That means the same.
pre-existing.
I need a
Yes, so-
second.
Pre-existing.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it at 12 feet. Does that work?
It's better, it's a start. It's a start.
It can always be changed.
I'd rather have something than nothing.
The engineers hate it, but
Sorry, I'm sorry for
I got a feeling you're not gonna get the last of this either.
Huh?
I got a feeling you haven't heard the last of this,
Oh, we haven't heard the last of this.
because the whole town doesn't know about this. When they find out,
Said that hard?
we-
Is everybody okay?
I
Take
need
deep
a-
breath.
Motion to adjourn?
I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn the
Hey,
meeting.
is that
Oh,
gonna
I'm
be,
sorry.
Wait a minute.
I have one more
Is that gonna be
item.
grandfathered in? Got the grandfather word in there too?
Yeah,
I will-
she's gonna take care of it.
I'll have
She
the
can't
draft-
use the word grandfather.
I'll have the draft,
Pre-existing exempt.
I'll have the draft back on the next meeting. We'll look at it again. Nothing's definitive.
We will scrutinize that.
I wanted a motion for tonight to agree on the change of the language. That's all what I needed. So we had the change of the language. I'll bring it back and then we do it again next meeting.
All right.
I'm sorry, I have something on the new business. It's super fast.
Quick.
This is on, oh, what's the address? I don't know the address. Do you remember his address?
What is it?
Wall repair, is that Glen Echo? Oh my goodness gracious.
Well
Looks like
repaired.
it.
No, it's a retaining wall, no, a retaining wall repair. Usually, of course, we require notice of intent because, you know, they're replacing it, they're bringing it down, this specifically has few missing blocks. I'll pass around that the applicant is requesting to just have his contractor
Yeah, I think this is.
put it in the missing blocks. That he's not replacing, he's not bringing it down, he's not doing anything. I feel in a way to make him file full notice of intent to do the work without
Put
disturbing.
his blocks in.
So
agree, yeah.
I thought maybe an RDA would be sufficient, so I can write him special conditions that
Well,
says
it's
that
a-
he cannot
wants to
do
it.
it.
I swim above the water, so.
Yeah.
Good night. Hey, thank you for your opinions.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, thank you.
I don't have a problem with that putting blocks back in the wall.
We're talking about maybe 15 spots. I figured an RDA, as long as I write, you know how people sometimes have a mind of their own, they say 15, and then when you go there, the wall entirely
Yeah,
down, they're
yeah.
constructing a new one. So
take it-
with the RDA, I can write it the special conditions and make sure that that's the only thing that's approved. No disturbance, just,
Okay.
it's like a puzzle, he's
Just-
filling in the
Just tell him
missing.
not to throw too much cement in the pond.
All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
She needs an RDA.
Is that okay with an
Yes,
RDA?
yes.
Okay, thank you, that's all I need to know.
All right. I need a second on the motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor? All opposed? Shut the lights off.
I forgot which lake that is.